Brother Hires, we've been enjoying talking about these stories of debate, and I'm fascinated by it. And I know that in the debates, there's a great deal of tension, there's a great deal of stress for the debater coming into it, particularly, I would think, the first night, but all through it. And it must be a pressureful thing for a man to do, knowing how much weight is attached to this. What I want to know is, though, are there funny things? Surely with that much tension, there must also be humorous things. And could you tell us about some of that?
Oh, yes. That's one of my favorite parts about debates. And I know stories about some of the older debaters, men that, for the most part, I never knew, but I know something about the experiences that they had. Ben Bogard was the most famous Baptist debater. And one of the most famous debaters among churches of Christ was a man by the name of Joe S. Warlick. And Warlick and Bogard debated each other over 20 times. Oh. And one time they had to sleep together. They arrived at the train station on the same train, and Warlick's brethren were there to meet him, and they had arranged a hotel room for him. For some reason, the Baptist people were not at the station, and Bogard did not know where he was going to stay. Warlick said, well, you can spend the night in my room. I've got a room at the hotel until your brethren can make connections with you and make the arrangements. So Bogard spent the night with Warlick's accommodations. Well, later on, several years, they had another debate. And Bogard told that story. And he prefaced it by saying, friends, I want you to know that Mr. Warlick and I are not enemies. He said, we're friends. We've debated before. We disagree on these issues that we will discuss, but we're not enemies. He said, in fact, in one debate we had before, we had to sleep together. And all the audience got a charge out of that, but even more so when Bogard said, of course, afterward he said, I had to take a bath. Oh, they thought that was pretty good. But Warlick got up, and it was hard to put anything over on Warlick. Warlick said, well, friends, what Mr. Bogard has told you is true. We've debated before. We're not enemies. And he said, it is true that in one debate we had to sleep together. But oh, how I wish he had taken that bath before.
I'm sure the audience just roared at that.
Oh, yeah, they enjoyed that. Another time they debated, and at the end of their debate, Bogard decided to offer the invitation. He said, I wonder if there might be some here who would like to join the Baptist church. And we're going to sing a verse of a song for an invitation. And if you'd like to come, do so as we stand and sing. Well, they sang a verse of a song. Nobody came forward. Warlick got up and he said, well, it's not customary to have an invitation at the end of a debate, but he said, since Mr. Bogard has done so, he said, I'd like to offer the gospel invitation. And he invited anyone who had learned the truth during the debate to come forward and to be baptized for the remission of their sins. And they sang a verse of a song, and 28 Baptists came forward. Well, Mr. Bogard had said when he offered the invitation, friends, I'm going to open the door of the church if you'd like to come in. Warlick commented, Mr. Bogard opened the door of his church, and 28 of his members got out.
Now, I doubt that everybody laughed about that one.
Well, perhaps not, but as I say, Warlick was famous for repartee. That is the ability to give a quick answer to any situation that arose.